Hello everybody, welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Yulia and in today's clip we are testing out a very affordable makeup brand, Studio London by Superdrug, which is from the retailer called Superdrug. They have this makeup line which is everything under a tenner and I wanted to test them out fully. And so if you're curious what I think about each product in particular, then keep on watching. Starting off with primer. So this is the You Do You Glow Primer. Soft Focus Glow. 24 wear. That's a big statement. From what I remember, they have a glowy primer and a mattifying primer, and I'm a glowy gal, so that's why I opted for this guy. That is really glowy. Like, what? It looks like a strobing cream. And I'm trying to challenge myself to even use only Studio London by Superdrug brushes. So, because of that, because I don't have that many brushes, I'm gonna massage this one with my fingers. Definitely is glowy, looking at the viewfinder. I could low-key call this a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, even though I did not try myself the original one. I only tried the e.l.f. collection dupes, and it seems this one is trying to kind of like mimic the same finish. Also, this doesn't peel. It's been a while on, and it feels as if it's like really synced into my skin, which is something that I really am looking for, because if you know the Supergoop priming SPF thing, that was peeling to the gods, We do also have the You Do You bronzing drops and highlighter drops, which in all honesty, I know these were really viral on TikTok because they are trying to dupe obviously the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. While with this one, I'm not quite sure if I would be the person to use like dropping it and then mixing it within my foundation. I would personally use it as a primer if I'm honest, but obviously I already have the primer. So that's the bronzer. That is really pigmented. I feel they're quite orangey, but I'm not the person who uses bronzing drops because I don't tan. In terms of the highlighter, I never realized it has some peach undertones, so I might try to use it as a highlighter. Next we have the foundation. This is Studio London Flaunt Flawless Perfecting Foundation. It has SPF 20 and this is shade 18 because what Studio London does is it starts from the darkest and then it ends up to the lightest. So that's why it has a big number. Generally speaking, you're meant to shake products which are coming in this kind of a bottle. I would personally do so. Let's see if I matched my shade. And this time I have a Studio London by Superdrug foundation brush. This is F2 and let's just kickstart it. A lot of coverage. Maybe I should use my bronzing drops because I feel this is quite light. That's gonna be interesting. I love the brush. Listen, this brush, look at the kind of denting there. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty Beauty, their popular brush for highlighting, which this is for foundation actually. But you can use your brushes however you want. No, I think we are a good match. It's just I didn't expect this to be so full coverage. I think I went a bit ham with the quantity. So A+ to Studio London, because in all honesty, it's such a struggle to find an olive undertone foundation. You wouldn't think that there's much gap when it comes to light shades. But listen, the undertones. Olive gals, they are just left out. In terms of coverage, I actually have some scarring around my chin and you can't see it at all. I'm actually really impressed. It's not as liquidy as I was expecting it. I would say it's a bit more like of a velvety texture, but it's definitely hydrating on the skin. It doesn't feel as if it's like sliding nor drying. I think it's a nice hybrid in between. You know what? My lips are really dry, so I'm gonna go in with the Superboost High Shine Lip Oil, avocado flavored, and you can see this is quite used and abused. I really like this lip oil. It feels like a lip oil. I like the smell of it, but don't expect any avocado smell. It doesn't smell like an avocado. I don't know why they called it avocado. They could have named it something else. You know what? I never seen that it says avocado flavored. It doesn't taste like avocado. I'm sorry, Superdrug. What are you talking about? I can't believe I'm tasting a lip oil. No, it doesn't taste like avocado, I'm sorry. Except that, you can see I've used quite a lot because I really like it. Next, something I never tried is their Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer. It's a whiteless full coverage formula. I have mine in shade number 10. It's really creamy. Currently, I'm very much obsessed with the e.l.f. concealer, so this kind of reminds me of that. If it's gonna be like that, I'm gonna be in love. My placement is in the inner corners of my eyes, and then dip right in and apply just a tiny bit at the ends. And then see if I feel I need more coverage on certain spots. You definitely can't see the scarring. The foundation is, I would say, medium to full coverage. It was just a tinge see-through, but it's just me having a mirror like this, which in real life no one would. I don't blend in my concealer with either a sponge nor a foundation slash, you know, face brush. I blend them in with a powder puff. From out of them two, I will choose the tinier one and I'm gonna start blending in. Okay, this is not like the e.l.f. concealer, the hydrating concealer. Just don't even bother waiting, just blend. Well, actually I can blend it out, but it definitely is the kind of concealer that it seems to set down much faster than others. Right, next we have the powder, and this is the Flaunt Flawless Setting Powder. It's a weightless and mattifying loose powder. This is in shade Translucent. I think they only have Translucent and Banana so far from what I remember. So I'm gonna pour a tiny bit onto the cap, actually quite a lot. And I'm using the same powder puff because it works. I always do this and kind of like change in between two uses, 3 uses. When it comes to the powder, I've tried it a couple times, like maybe 7, 8 times so far in videos. It's not something that I always go for. I feel because it says it's mattifying, I do see it on my skin. I need a powder that is a bit more hydrating, if that makes sense. And there are powders out there who have that kind of a formulation. I feel is trying to do something that my skin doesn't necessarily vibe with. It's mattifying. But I feel, given that this is quite a young brand, usually when you're younger you have oily skin, which I don't anymore. I used to though. That's why I feel me and powder are a bit trickier in the sense of it makes my eyes just a tinge drier than I would like to. The reason why I didn't set the rest of my face is because I still need to use some cream product. So when it comes to this bronzing stick in shade Suede, the Flaunt Flawless one, I am in love with this product. I've been using it for quite some time, and in all honesty, this feels like such a luxe formulation. I had a really hard time putting it down. Look at that. It's really pigmented. I can go much thicker or really thin depending how I place my stick. I would say the foundation is not setting that much, so it must be a bit more hydrating than I felt. I'm gonna use the same brush that I used for my foundation. Yes, you are allowed to do that. Actually, if you use the brush that you use for your foundation, it helps you to make it more of a natural kind of bronze, which I do like. Yeah, this brush is definitely gonna make it in my everyday makeup bag. It's just amazing the way it's shaped. Like even for the nose, look at that. Wow, that's why probably they made this dent. Look at that, oh my god, that's insane. Then we actually have the blush version. This is in shade Precious Pink, and the formula is the same. The shade is amazing. It's just I have another one that I quite have it within my heart. So I didn't use this one as much as it's a little sister, but I love the formula. The formula is amazing. But since I was telling you I have another blush at my heart, I'm gonna run you through the lip and cheek pigments that come in a variety of shades. I think I have them all. I think there are only 5, which that's 5 in my hands. So we have 2 darker ones, which are Captive, Embrace, and then we have 3 others which feel a bit more like for my skin tone. Empower, which I'll correct myself there, This, you have to be really careful how much you apply. It is pigmented. The ones that I gravitated towards the most is Passion and Inspire. And you can tell by its pan, this is used. This is really used. This is more clean. I love this one so much. So out of them all, I really love Passion. However, you can see how much pigment these have. They are a balm formula, so they don't pick that drastically onto the brush. You can manipulate basically the intensity of the blush. So you could potentially get a more darker version of it, even though I imagine those are intended for deeper darker skin tones. But I remember I used it once or twice, the darker ones, and if you take just a tiny bit and kind of like really blend it out, you can get away with it. Listen, I can't test out every single shade onto my skin, but I really want to give you just some more understanding with the colors. So I'm gonna try to use Inspire first, take it off as much as possible, and then do the Sunset blush with this trio. Wish me luck. But Inspire is my favorite shade, and it's because it's so like natural. Also the formula is so balmy. It just melts. Look at that. Oh my god, I haven't used this one in a while as well because I was trying to stay away from it because I was only using this. Tomorrow I'm gonna rock this one to work. I don't know if it's like my skin tone working with it really well or just the shade being gorgeous. It could be both. Right now I'm gonna try to put these three ones in the Sunset Trend vibe over here. So we are putting shade Passion right at the end here, and then shade Empower at the front of the pink. Okay. I'm gonna dare to go with Embrace at the end because I feel it's not that deep. The pink. Oh yeah, that's what I needed. The depth. Oh my god, I love this trend! And obviously you can do it on an affordable price. I realized I didn't do my brows. And so I have this Boss Brow 24-hour soap fix. And I used this one once. And in all honesty, it's just like your regular soap that started the trend of like making soap brows, which is the pear soap. But I quite like that it's coming in like a nice box and it has like a brush. You literally just spritz either water or dewy setting spray and then brush it off. And it's as simple as that. They are really nice. Like, I actually am impressed with this product in the sense of who thought about like putting soap on your brows. Obviously, because of the pear soap, brands came up with these kind of products, but they are quite useful given that you have the brush. Maybe a mirror is missing, but I think Studio London is trying to be extremely eco-friendly and recyclable friendly, and so they don't have mirrors. And they also make these brow pencils, and I have two in shade Blonde and Grey Brown. I would say Grey Brown would be more suited for myself. But what I tend to notice, it's quite hard to use an eyebrow pencil when you glue down your brows. I don't tend to usually do it. I was trying to do it for this video. But it seems to me it's the same situation with any other brow glue. The Grey Brown. Oh, it's actually not that light. Yeah, that's a good shade, even though I can't apply it. I think this is a good shade now because I have my roots grown. But this is a good shade when I have my hair fully bleached. And now I'm gonna use this one, as I promised, as a highlighter because I only have a powder highlighter. I don't have a cream highlighter. I think I'm gonna apply it to my hand and then swoop with my finger like that. Yeah, this is breaking the balm underneath. Yeah, absolutely don't do that. I feel because this is quite like dewy and liquidy, and obviously the balm is much thicker in consistency, this is like, yeah, I'm gonna break you. As I said, I'm gonna set down everything with this brush from Studio London, which again, this one is one of my favorites. I have this one for a while. I have it since Christmas from their Christmas sets. This is F1 and it's one of my favorite powder brushes because it's quite like, it looks really dense, but in all honesty, it's quite like flexible. Can you see? And I like them this way because it means it doesn't pack too much powder on my skin. And like I said, I need to be really careful with my powder application. Also, I forgot to mention this little guy. This is the Bronzing Cream Sun-Drenched Sculpt. This one I know is always sold out. This is a nightmare to put your hand on it for all the good reasons. This is essentially the blushes within a bronzing formula. I would say I love this one too. The only reason why I do prefer the stick is because it's just more practical to like drag it across your face in exactly the positions that you want and blend it out with your foundation brush, with the random brush that you manage to put your hands when you're like almost still asleep. I really love this one in terms of formula as much as this guy, but this feels more practical to my lifestyle. And that sounds really extreme, but in all seriousness, I prefer sleeping and looking gorgeous in 5 minutes. And this gives me that. Mine is in shade 4, and this is how it looks like for reference. It's definitely trying to mimic the stick formula on the skin, I would say. The other way around, because this was the first bronzer launched, and then the sticks came after. Now onto the finishing touches. I have the pressed powder in shade number 5, which I use it sometimes as bronzer, and this highlighter, which is You Do You Radiant Glow Get It highlighter, and it comes essentially with like 3 shades. I need to be quite careful with this formula because it's more a powder, like it's meant to be setting your powder down, but I do like it as a bronzing powder as well. So within this trio, I got the pink one to apply it as a blush onto the apples of my cheeks, just because we all know right now, because of Rare Beauty, it's very trendy to have a very shimmery blush, which essentially is like a baked blush, highlighter, hybrid, whatsoever. And it looks gorgeous. Also, since when these fan brushes are doing something, this did some bits when I applied the gold highlighter as an actual highlighter, which tied in the sunset blush trend, because that's how it goes. You put like pink blush and orange blush, and then you put a gold highlighter, and it really done that. And it seems either this has some magic on it or we didn't know how to use them. Before jumping into lips and eyes, we have to set everything, and I just want to show you the 2 versions that Studio London has, the Dew Mist and the matte version. And I don't know if you can tell, this is empty. I've used an entire bottle of this thing. I really love this one so much. It's so affordable. It really holds in place your makeup, and I used an entire bottle of it. But today I want to test out the dewy one. I never tried this one, even though I had it for quite some time into my collection. I really like the mist on this. It's very fine. I'm really impressed with it. And now let's see if I look dewy. I think I was looking dewy anyway with the products that I chose myself to use. But what I would say about this guy is obviously it's not gonna mattify, which I always saw with this guy. But obviously it does what it says on the tin. Right, let's move on into the eyes. So we have eyeshadow, mascara, lashes, eyeliner, eye base, and eyeshadow pigments. So I have the eyeshadow stripped back, I think it's called. Never tried it. It's brand new, but as a first impression, I really like how the color story is. It's just very simple and natural. But yeah, let's do some swatching. So natural. I'm curious about the shimmers. Oh, Bare. Then we have Silk. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my god, that's insane. No, this is insane. This is beautiful. This is insane. Gorgeous. Before doing my eyeshadow, I'm gonna use the eyeshadow base. So I'm starting with shade Bare. These shades are so pigmented. Let me get you closer. This is a stunning eyeshadow so far already. Now I'm going into shade Cashmere just to darken the edges a tiny bit. And I'm gonna take shade Reveal just to add a tiny bit of a definition to the eye. They definitely have some fallout, just giving a heads up. I'm gonna go with these 2 shades, this in the middle, this in the inner corner. Okay, that is gorgeous. And now I'm going into Silk. Listen, I'm taking it with the finger. Look at that. Jesus. So metallic in the best way possible. Absolutely insane. I really thought they're gonna be really like, just not it. It meets my shimmer standard, which is quite high. It's really high because I have some insane shimmers. I know I didn't use these guys, but I'm gonna swatch them for you. So this is an eyeliner, pigmented, but it's a bit dry for my liking. But that's quite nice color. This is in shade Striking Cobalt. And then we have these cream pigments. And this is in shade Priority Pink. That is really creamy. I'm scared now of the blue. I'm just gonna put it on top of this. Shut up. That is insane. I guess we can leave them like this and see if they set down. These are fully dried down. Okay, these are pretty damn insane. Mascara. So this is the Lash Iconic Dramatically Fuller and Longer Lash. This is a new launch as of recent. This is how the wand looks like. It is quite curved and I don't know what to expect from it. I think this is a bristle brush, not a plastic wand. I feel because it's quite curved, you can go really down to wiggle it and give volume to the root. I would say that's a pretty dramatic change. I have really small lashes, so whenever you see like a lash making like massive lashes onto someone, chances are they have natural long lashes. And so for me personally, I had to really learn that this is an amazing kind of result from a lash product, like a lash mascara. I think this is something that I would see myself using more often because of the bristle brush and also the way that it's designed. Because sometimes, because I have really small lashes, it's quite hard to go underneath, and because of the curve, I feel it allows me to do that quite easily. Cool, we also have some lashes. Yeah, this is called the black eyeliner. Oh my god, it comes with a tip. Okay, I'm gonna apply it as an eyeliner then. I would say, given that this is an eyeliner, it is quite beginner friendly, but I wouldn't use that glue again myself. I don't know, I just feel like you really need to go for a wing, otherwise it is quite thick when you apply it. I definitely feel I should trim them down. They're quite big for myself, but I guess if we are going back in time in 2016, this is you know, acceptable. So now onto the lips. I have quite some products. We're gonna start with this lip plumper, which I never realized it's a lip plumper up until I tried it, and it actually is a lip plumper because it gives that sensation of like, not mentally, like chilly lip oil. What I really like about this lip plumping enhancer is it's a lip oil. It's not a lip gloss, it's a lip oil. I categorize this as a lip oil because it's like really slippery. I really love the formula. Maybe it's trying to imitate the Ariana Grande of Rem. I think that was their take on the lip gloss, that it was like an oil, and it's not like a terrible sensation of like burning. I tried the duck plumping gloss from NYX, and oh my god, if I'll have that in my house, I'll throw it in the trash. What is that? Ew. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to have something like that on the market. It's just terrible. This one, it gives you that kind of like a tingly feeling, but it's not to the point of like wanting to throw up. That one got into my tongue. This doesn't. So I have the Studio London one approved. Now we're gonna take it off and apply the lip oil. So we have this one, which is in shade Add Motivation. And then we also have this one, which looks really dark, but it's actually really like sheer. It's called Add Desire. How subtle this one is. See? I think I'm gonna apply this one. I wouldn't call these ones glosses. It's slippery in a good way. I don't feel it like slips down from your lip, but it's just like comfortable on the lips. Onto the next products. I would say if you find a shade that you really like from their lip liners, take it. Mine, I don't know if you can tell which one is it. Definitely see the difference. This is in shade Superior Latte. Anything with the name latte slapped onto it is definitely gonna be my go-to. And this is now no exception from that. My second would be Self Love Nude. This is Superior Latte and this is Self Love Nude. Then we have Candid Blush. Then we have Courageous Berry. This is Elevated Pink. Then we have this orange one, which is called Vivacious Orange, which I guess you could pair it up if you would like to put it on your lips with this chicken lip pigment. These are bright, and I think the pigment slaps. And also, when you firstly buy the lip pencils, it seems like they're a bit dry, but then after you kind of like scrape the outer shell, they just become really creamy. Because you saw on my lips, I didn't drag whatsoever. It's just these ones were new. So we have 3 shades in terms of the lipstick bullet, and I think I'm gonna go with Feeling Ambitious just because it feels like the right shade for my lip liner. I don't think this is the kind of formula that's gonna be really matte, which I like. Oh, it's the velvet formula. They don't have a matte formula. They have a velvet and a satin formula. So that's why they are not like matte. And I really love that because they are more comfortable onto the lips, and I really love this shade. But let's go with the other one, which is Feeling Cute, which is the satin finish. Definitely not working with my eyes currently. Slippery formula in the sense of, not quite sure if it's why it's called satin. Maybe because it's giving that glow. But I kind of felt the other one gives me a nice glow as well. Let me try the 3rd shade as well, which is definitely more out there, feeling bold. Okay, I never tried this one. Oh, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to pigment. Okay, now I'm happy that I swatched every single shade of the bullet lipsticks. This is the one that goes with this particular lipstick, Devoted Plum. What I feel it's really unique, stands out. The formulation is just surpassing the price point are the following products. Lip liner, Superior Latte, amazing. Bronzy stick in shade Suede is just it. And also the blushes, mine, shade Inspire. And of course, I finished a bottle of this. When it comes to newness that I tried only today, I would say for lipsticks, I really love the velvet formula over the satin formula. As a general kind of like theme with me, I love the matte finish a tiny bit, but if I want to go glossy, I want to go glossy with a lip oil. And this formulation is stunning for the price point. It's much cheaper than the e.l.f. one. I think e.l.f. is a bit more jelly. I really love the mascara. I think the mascara is quite good. I think powder puffs are becoming more accessible, and Studio London is definitely taking it there, because other than Studio London, you can't find the triangular powder puffs easier in the drugstore aisles. And that is it.